What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Guys of Texas. Coming off that fresh W at the Red River, we are joined with Jono. We are joined with Seth, and a special guest. We've got Joe in the house this week. Joe fought the battle for all of us this week and actually went down to the Red River and enjoyed the heat. So we brought him on to kind of get the lowdown of the vibes of the game and kind of what his thoughts were of the game. So, Joe, take it away. What time did you show up?
So, flew in Saturday at 8 a.m.
Perfect.
Got there at 8, landed, got to the hotel. We showed up at the stadium at around, I think, 11:30, 12. Got in there like first thing and hung out for pretty much 2 hours.
Or did you take the train?
No, we Ubered.
Okay,
it was terrible. Traffic was terrible.
I bet.
Naturally. It was just like last year. Last year we did the same thing. Ubered. The traffic was terrible. We tried to get there early. We made it in, like, no line, getting in the stadium, no issue. Last year we made the mistake of trying to get in there like 30 minutes before.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible idea. We learned big time from last year. Got in there. We were in the stadium for 2 hours, watching the warm-ups, watching the reps, and like actually seeing Arch stand next to Quinn. Arch is a beast, dude. Arch is a beast, man. I was like, no way. Is that really him? And yeah, we got a couple of videos of them just throwing bombs, throwing deep balls, passes to all the guys and stuff like that. But
you were what, 8 rows?
We were in there pretty much. Say that again.
8 rows from the end zone.
6. We were on the Bevo side, like just between the field goal and Bevo on row 6. Yeah. On the bottom. So it was like
still like 50 yards away from the field.
Pretty much.
Those end zones, man, are so far away.
There's a massive amount of pavement there that you don't really see on TV, and it's awesome, but it sucks being that far away.
Yeah.
It feels close, but it was awesome. And we got there before the stadium was packed, and most everybody started right there at Bevo taking pictures. He was in there like an hour before us, probably, maybe even more. But everyone's over there taking pictures of Bevo. All the students are starting to pile in at the student section, and they're getting hyped over there as all the players are rolling through. But I mean, it was an awesome experience. At least.
Yeah, I made the mistake. So I went to at the Star. It was New Year's Eve game, the first ever hockey gaming in the Cotton Bowl. The problem was we got there early, but they cut off half of the half of the fair and only let us go into that south side, I think it is, or east side, whatever the side towards the Ferris wheel. And so you've got people from both sides converging. It took us 45 minutes to get from where those big beer tents are. And our section was directly into that stadium. There's never a chance I'm taking a chance on going late ever again to that stadium. It was the most miserable experience ever. So going early, just for the record, is always a good thing.
Well, whenever we went, we were like pounding down drinks, trying to get in before.
Allegedly.
And then, allegedly. Gatorades. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you turn around and there's like literally 17,000 people lined up at that one entrance. You're like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
That's what I was confused when he was telling the story. He was saying, like, got there 2 hours early, blah, blah. My mind wasn't clicking that he actually meant, like, in the stadium. I was like, the fairgrounds. You're pounding beers.
Yeah, that's what, no.
Oh,
okay,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
You didn't even stop for a corn dog?
No.
Oh, dude.
No.
Straight
Not at all. That was after the game. We did that.
Yes.
But we made it like a goal. Like, we will get there and we are going straight into the stadium. Don't care what's going on. We're going straight into the stadium. And then college game day wasn't there, so like it ended up being okay.
How did it end up feeling being a 2:30 kickoff compared to last year when you went?
Super hot.
Yeah.
Super hot. I mean, you got the stun is like right above you. It was pretty brutal. They started to run out of water, at least at the smaller like kiosk concession spots. They started to run out of water, and then there was so many phones and like Wi-Fi pinging off everything. The card readers stopped working.
Nice.
So even if you wanted to get a drink, you couldn't get a drink, couldn't get water, and so you were forced to like feed into the side like actual concession stands, and that kind of sucked. But once everyone was in there and the kickoff, I mean, the kickoff was absolutely insane. They started playing Hell's Bells, AC/DC. Unfortunately, being in that awesome spot that we were in, I'm sure you guys saw it on TV, but all of that orange smoke,
bro.
was
what's funny?
All right in front of us.
This is what's funny is so. First of all, we see the smoke on TV, and we immediately go back to the first game or the second game. It was the night game. I was like, "This is absurd," and I was 5 sections away from it. You sent a picture to Jono. Jono showed us the picture at the end of the game. He's like, "Look at him," and I was like, "Oh, dude, that's the end of the game." And because it was so blacked out that you couldn't tell it was still like 2:30. Yeah. And he was like, "No, this is a kickoff." I was like, "Oh my, someone's going to get sued over that." It's crazy.
Dude, it was insane. It was really, really cool because we got some cool pictures in the smoke, but I mean, it kept going and going and going. All I could see was like a big Longhorn flag, and then like I think I saw the X and an S, and then that was it. And then the guy, you could see the pyro guy. The pyro guy goes back in and like lights another like can.
Bro,
these like big black cans. And like before the game started, we're like, what are those cans? What are they doing? Because somebody almost tripped over like 2 of them. And I'm like, dude, they need to move those cans. They look like little trash cans. And then sure enough, right when they came out, pluming smoke.
That's
well, Seth, get ready because you get to experience that again on this weekend. So
yeah,
fun with that.
I'll be part of the class action suit in a couple years.
Yeah, dude, for real. When they do it at the stadium, the student section just gets buried with smoke. It's full gas chamber over there. Like it's bad.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
So, how did you feel about the game? Like, what were your takeaways from it, from watching it in the stadium?
So the momentum was like absolutely non-existent, especially when we got the ball the first drive. I was like, we got the ball first drive. I was like, this, I don't know. It felt weird. And then obviously the pick happened and the other half of the stadium just went nuts.
Oh yeah.
And everyone on our side is just like, you know, what is going on? Defeated. Like, okay, trust the defense. Defense was there, but then it was just this back and forth of nothing, field goal. And it was like, are we ever going to do anything? And it was just kind of like pretty mellow. Everyone was pretty amped because it was early in the first quarter, but it was still like, we need to get something going. And then the Gunnar Helm touchdown happened. And then that was, you know, pretty much the fire that started. And then pretty much from then on, the other side of the stadium was quiet.
Yeah, that was Jono going
Lights
in.
out.
Like Jono, right before, he's like, "Man, I got a weird feeling about this game, bro. Like I'm so tired of it. This is not the same team." And even after the pick, after the missed field goal, and then they score a field goal, that whole first quarter was like, okay, yeah, we're screwing up a lot, but I didn't have any angst. Like there was no like, oh no, we could lose this game. Like I never felt that once. Like, did y'all feel that in the stadium? Like it was like for first quarter at least?
We were waiting for something big to happen. I feel like everyone was still in it, but there was a lot of people going, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, if they keep doing this, Arch is coming in.
Yeah. How early did that happen? How early did that happen?
I mean, first quarter, it was, people were talking.
Oh, I bet.
But then, yeah. And then, I mean, I think like seeing Wisner like step up, and I mean he was an absolute beast.
Yeah.
Watching him run through that defense was wild, absolutely wild. But yeah, I mean, first quarter people were already like, "Where's Arch? Where's Arch?"
I feel like any game that starts
no.
off with a sack interception, you're like, why did I spend money on these tickets?
Yeah. Bring
I will
our
say
Savior
that
in.
was, yeah, I will say that was the only time I got like actually mad, because I still had like faith that they were going to do something, and then they did.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, it was a good game overall. I mean, you could tell on TV, like they cleared out. I mean, OU just knew. Like it was funny because you knew that first 3 points and the interception just gave them so much hope. You're like, see, I told you, we're going to beat Texas. This is what we need to do. It's like, bro, you can't score at all. And watching the defense at the end fight to not allow them at all to get in the end zone was awesome. Like that was the best part for me for the game, is watching that defense sitting there like, no, you're not coming into this end zone. So overall, I think it was a really good game. Anything else from the experience? By the way, did y'all see, we were talking about corn dogs earlier. Did you guys see Dave Portnoy doing?
Has he never had a corn dog?
Dude, here.
That was weird.
Bro, what is he doing? Like this guy,
He's
the
like,
most
"Oh,
like
there's a hot dog
rich,
in there.
out of
There's a hot
touch
dog."
person that wasn't rich before, like should know what a corn dog is, and then doesn't even go for the mustard. He goes ketchup.
Yeah,
that was weird. He was surprised that there was like meat inside. Like what? What?
And then just roasted. So far, he's roasted everything that he's eaten. He had the cotton candy bacon today. Can't wait. The funnel cakes were the only thing they said that was good. So yeah, he said there's really good food, but yeah, he said I don't know if he had turkey leg. He hadn't come out with that yet. But basically, he tried all of the weird food. They like the State Fair toured him around on Friday and just made him taste all the weird food.
Like fried Oreos and all that.
Yeah, no, not my. Yeah,
I love my fried Oreos. Back up.
Fried Oreos, bomb. Like fried Oreos, where it's at. But you could tell he's just talking. He's like, how many people can eat this whole thing of bacon? It's like, bro, you're in Texas. Like this is the South, bud. We fry everything.
Yeah,
we'll try
some big guts around here, dude. Come on now.
Exactly. Anything else from the game? Anybody?
I don't really have anything else. I mean,
okay.
Just watching the other side just be defeated was
it's the best
all I needed compared to last year. Last year was miserable. But this year was awesome, watching them just being cocky, around, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Everyone's waving. They started doing the band started chiming in, and they were doing the na 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 na. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you were deep center in the Texas territory last year. Were y'all anywhere closer to the OU folks where you're actually interacting with them a bit?
No, we were in that same kind of section, but just like 40 was up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Jono and TJ was a very unique experience because they actually went and sat in the middle of the.
We were in where you were, but on the OU side, and it was the best thing. God. We won 49-0. Those seats cleared out. Oh, it was very nice. That's
I feel like I get
all them
out.
Come down. Oh yeah. Oh no, they didn't have anything to talk about. Like it literally. The only thing was like going to the bathroom at like the first quarter. It felt like the olden days of like, oh, is this the bathroom I go into? Because everyone's staring at me. Like it was a weird experience doing that. But yeah, exactly. So, but after the first quarter, it was all fine. They didn't care. There were always the drunks that wanted to talk trash, but other than that, it was fine. Everyone was, for the most part, was cool. I got a picture with Mr. OU that year.
The Mohawk guy?
Yeah.
I was gonna say he was pretty cool. I don't know if he was at the beginning, but when we came down there out with y'all, he was really cool.
Yeah, he was cool the whole time.
The beginning.
Yeah, I mean, we had people from Pflugerville that sat next to us. Like we were just talking to everybody.
That's
we
awesome.
Immediately sat down. We said, "Look, we're here to enjoy the game and root for our team. Everyone, chill out." And it was fun. I was getting texts from my wife like, Are you guys in a fight yet? It's like, no, it's fine. We know how to handle the
It's
situation.
okay.
Yeah, it's fine. We're winning 49-0. They can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Awesome experience, great game. And now I felt like it was a good cap for us because yes, we dominated the game, but we did not play to our potential. And I think Sark's going to use that this week, which we do have number 1 versus number 5 Georgia coming in this week. This is the third top 5 matchup in DKR. Other two were in 2006, Ohio State, number 1 versus number 2 Texas. We lost 24-7. And the last one, or the one before that, was 1970. That was number 1 Texas versus number 4 Arkansas. We smoked them 42-7. So we're due.
That's
the
great.
last time we played Georgia was 2019 with the We're Back from Sam. And now we are actually officially back, boys.
We're here.
So
We're here.
Texas leads a whole lot of stats. Let's see. So total offense, we are 7th ranked. Georgia's 28th ranked. Rushing offense, we're 40. They're 92. Passing offense, they are 9. We are 11. Where's the defense at? Yeah, rushing defense, we're 23rd over their 43. Passing yards allowed, we're 2nd in the nation versus their 39th. The only thing that Georgia really has us on is in the last year, they have 16 players that have been arrested, and we have 1. That's your stats of the year right there. I was looking it up. I was like, I knew it was a lot. I didn't realize it was 16
That's insane.
players that have
I
been
thought it was
arrested.
more.
Over the last 2 years, it is definitely more. Like I believe,
Okay.
because in March it was 20 since 2020, the start of 2023. So it's got to be up to like 30, right around in there at this point. Sweat is the only one that I can remember from this last year with his DWI, but he was already passed out of the team, so that one doesn't count. But yeah, they lead. I'm pretty sure they lead the nation in arrests this year. So congratulations to that. So that's the only thing we really have to worry about, in my opinion. But spread for the game is now -5. Started out 3.5. We are now -5. The over under is 56.5. So, what are kind of your takeaways for this game? What are you guys looking for? What do you expect from Georgia? What do you got?
I am really jealous. I was going to make that my key of the game of how many players get arrested this week. I'll have to come up with a different one.
Sorry to steal that.
Yeah. Dude, it has been interesting this last week. I've been diving into Twitter quite a bit, and seeing the Georgia fan base as a whole seem nervous has been really interesting. Like, I constantly keep seeing like them talking about that this could like. I feel like Georgia fans have been cocky for like the last like 5 years, ever since they started recruiting well. This is the first time that I've seen it that they're actually like, there's a good chance we get beat this week, and so that's really encouraging. I feel as far as Texas goes, as long as they play like their brand of football, Quinn looks healthy, like they play their brand, I'm not worried about us. I'm just really interested to see the defensive scheme that Georgia tries to run against us, what type of tricks they're going to pull out for us. But I'm pretty confident. I don't think there's too much to worry about in this game, to be honest. It sounds pretty cocky, though.
Yeah, you're talking about they're quiet on Twitter right now. I've never actually experienced it. Like number 1 versus number 5, you should hear a lot of smack talk. I don't hear anything from Georgia right now. It's kind of crazy because at the beginning of the year they were very cocky. Yes,
a lot of humble fans. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, the main things I'm looking at for the keys to this game is defense staying in control of the game again. I believe OU's longest play last week was 15 yards. I mean, we gave up 0 explosive plays, and I think that's going to be key in this game. Really can't afford to give up explosive plays to this offense, even though they do have some big play hitters over there. But staying in control, and then the offense making sure we're keeping the ball away. We can't turn the ball over and give Georgia easy chances to get momentum like we did with OU early, because Georgia's offense is good enough to score. But I'm really excited to see our secondary versus Beck, though. This will be the secondary's biggest test of the year by far. Beck is, in Heisman consideration, and he's looked good at times. He's looked, what? We'll see.
Yeah, who?
We'll see.
He was.
He's looked good at times, and he's looked bad at times this year, right? He's looked like the best quarterback in the nation at times, and then he's looked like mid SEC quarterback at times. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out for them. And then with ETN, he's been inconsistent all year at running back there. I mean, like you mentioned, 92nd in rushing offense. So keeping the running game contained, but it's really going to come down to that secondary, which is going to be really fun to see our secondary go up against a more top tier quarterback this week.
Cool. Yeah, I put trench warfare. That's what I wrote down. Trench warfare. I think it's going to be a big deal. O-line, D-lines for both sides. I think that's going to dictate this game, I think. And then for Texas, they've got to be able to get around that front seven and get outside of that D-line. I feel like if we get contained, that's going to push our running game and force us to pass more. And we won't have both guys on run game and pass game to kind of win this game for us. I think the defense is going to stop their rushing game early and often. It's just we haven't like Jonathan said, we haven't let up any explosive plays. But on the flip side, I feel like our DBs haven't seen those big, long, deep balls that Carson Beck can throw in those third and fourth quarter comebacks. And that's like the biggest thing that I'm worried about. If they can contain that and keep the ball in front of them, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, as far as trenches go, like this will be our biggest test of the year. But at the end of the day, the cool thing will be is Sark and Kirby both have the same mentality where they develop their offensive lines. Like that is they recruit from high school. They're not coming from the portal most of the time. They're making sure they are developing these guys from high school, and they both had that same game plan. Sark, I feel like, has a little bit more experience on his line versus Georgia's. That's going to be the key. But you're talking about the deep ball. One of the big reasons we hadn't seen a lot of deep balls is because we've been getting to the quarterback a lot. Like we're not allowing them to have that time. And as long as our offensive line, that was one thing I saw against OU, was they were rushing Quinn to get the ball out. So like that, there was a lot of different passing plays where he felt the pressure, and that's number one. I feel like what caused that first interception. And there were a couple different times on there when that first quarter specifically where the offensive line just wasn't able to contain them. And now we're going to be able to see what they've learned from that and see if they can actually contain a real defense, because OU does not have one. And then as far as the other side goes, defensively, I do think we have the best defense that we've ever had, and we're about to really find out. But as long as you've got Colin and Hill getting through, I mean, we've got so many different guys that are able to do that also, and just keeping them fresh. It's going to be the first non-heat game we've played. It's going to be 80 degrees for the start of the game, and then it's going to get colder. It's going to be perfect. So I think that benefits Texas at this point. Like, I know both teams are in the heat still and being in Georgia and Texas, but I think that benefits us right now is being able to, that'll keep us fresh, and especially the defense. But the way they contained the running game against OU, they're not gonna have to use those spies like they did against OU. So they'll be able to free that up a little bit. But ETN wise, I'm not really worried. The defense looked good. The tackling for Texas last game was sloppy a little bit in the first quarter, but then picked up, and that's what we saw against Mississippi State. They were sloppy. So as long as we can come out, and we always the thing with Texas is we always step up for these big games, like Alabama last year, like Michigan. These games, like these big time games, they really step up, and it's not a rivalry game. Like OU is a different ball game. This is we're going to come out and we're going to punch you in the mouth type of game, and that's how Texas has always been in these games since under Sark. So I'm super excited to see how our team really stacks up against a decent team, because this is really our last huge test, and then we've got to turn around and go play Vanderbilt, who's a better football team than Georgia. So, yeah, it's going to be I think it's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, Georgia hasn't had a good hadn't come out hot starting a game all season long.
Right.
So I'm really curious to see how well we can take advantage of that right off the jump, and then just maintain after that. Even last season it was kind of like I remember that Auburn game last year. It just very slow and ended up building and coming back in the end. And hopefully we can take advantage of that at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, to me, it's going to be like that same thing is going to be the Kirby in that Alabama game was really good in the second half, being able to change his game plan and to adjust. That's what he's really good at. So we're going to need to break out into a big lead at the first half. And then that second half, Sark is going to change it up again to where Kirby's not going to be able to game plan for that. He's going to have two completely different game plans. So realistically, I feel like Sark is going to go into this game coaching two different ball games. So that's a big key, in my opinion, for this football game is be able, because Kirby's very good at adjusting at what you're doing. So you're going to have to be able to keep him on his toes the whole time.
Yeah.
What else you guys got on Georgia?
On Georgia? Y'all already kind of went through it. We haven't been tested. As far as passing offenses goes, Georgia is going to be far and above what we've seen so far. So I'm really curious with losing Derek Williams, how that affects the back end. I know he only was back for one game, but who's going to step up at safety? And Manny Muhammad's been a shutdown corner all season long. But he's facing a lot tougher talent this week, and just seeing how well he holds up, if he can still continue just to be that dog out there. Not a dog, that Longhorn out there.
Screw that dog.
So that's a key point for me for sure, is how well our secondary can really keep up with the better talent.
I saw this stat earlier. Did you know Texas, in this very difficult SEC conference that we talk about, is the first team in the SEC in the first 6 games to score over 250 points and have less than 40 points scored against them?
I heard that.
Wow.
This SEC stuff is easy right now, boys. I don't know what you're talking about.
like 5 more years.
Yeah.
I have another random fact for y'all.
Here we go.
You might have heard it also. I heard it on another podcast earlier. When was the last time Texas beat a top 5 AP team or AP top 5 team at home? How long ago do you think that was? Top 5.
You should have won that LSU game.
We should have been LSU. It should have been Alabama also.
Let's say 2009.
I'll say 8.
I think it may be. Oh well, at home. That's
at home. Top 5 team.
Well, then that's 1970, is it not?
No, it's 1999.
Oh, 1999. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Dang.
We have not beat a top 5 team at home since 1999.
How many chances have we had? Wow. Do you have that?
I don't have that. Sorry.
Come on, Seth.
Jeez.
I'm just curious how many we played, you know.
Too many. Yeah. The answer is too many.
Some of those years when there was like that Chase Daniels Missouri team was like ranked up in the top 5. It felt like for a little while, and that Kansas team during the era too that was ranked up in the top 5. So I thought maybe it was one of those that we played at home. But that's crazy, man.
I have it. Here we go. Alabama in 2022 loss. TCU number 5 in the coaches poll. Ohio State in 2006, we lost 24-7, and it was against Nebraska in 99. It was 24-20. Oof.
Wow.
And then before that was 94, number 4, Colorado. We lost 34-31. And then in 93, it was Syracuse, number 4, Syracuse. We tied 21-21. Kissing your sister. And then we won't talk about the fact that the year before that in 92 was Texas A&M, number 3. We lost 34-13. That was probably their last win against Texas. They probably have a banner hanging for that one. It's not a championship banner. Let's just be clear. We don't have one of those that are real.
No.
So
I will say there's one thing that I noticed talking to. So I have guys at work that are like Tennessee fans and Georgia fans. None of these people understand the rivalry between us and OU and us and A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like telling them, like, this game this past weekend, obviously, it's not like a normal game because, you know, the Georgia guy, he's like, oh, who are you playing? You guys haven't played anybody, blah, 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 blah. You know, you see it on Twitter, you see it on Instagram. It's like, dude, it's not the same. We've lost at, you know, top 5 spots when we were in the top 5 spot to OU unranked, and we've done the same to them. So it's like it's neutral site, totally different game. But it's just funny. I just thought about that just now, but it's just funny. People don't know.
It's weird. It's weird how people just, I don't know, like Alabama and Auburn I can understand a little bit, but we talked about this on the podcast, the live podcast we did, but like it's just a different atmosphere. Number one, you got the built-in tailgate. You don't have to bring anything. You've got everything, all the food, everything you want. You've got 2 teams that brutally hate each other, and this is their, no matter what happens, no matter where you're ranked, whoever wins that game gets to talk trash for quite a while. Because if OU happen to win, all they're going to do is just lose in their conference or in their bowl game every year. That's typically what happens. So that's their bragging rights for the year. So we are looking on to bigger and better things this year for sure. We just needed to shut up Oklahoma fans. That was why it was big for us. We haven't asked you yet. We'll ask you, Joe. Bigger rivalry, OU or A&M?
I feel like isn't A&M older?
Older, yes, but if you're picking a rivalry right now, who is it? Is it OU or A&M?
Obviously for our era of football, it has to be OU, just because we haven't played A&M in such a long time.
That is correct, and that gets rekindled in November.
Yeah.
And people will then realize, oh, they're pretty much equal. Like I do feel like in a couple years, OU will fade to the background and A&M will then take back up that number 1 spot for the rivalry. Like it's going, like the pageantry and everything. Yes, they refused to actually bring back the bonfire. They shut down the vote. I think they should do that. I think that's a cool little thing that they do. It's crazy to me they're not going to bring it back, but whatever. But yeah, A&M I feel like is just going to be the bigger rivalry after we. I mean, you saw what happened when we go to the SEC and we still Schlossnagel from them. Like, I mean, they were ready to kill his family, and like, they wanted to put a bonfire in his front yard.
I don't agree. I think OU is still going to be the bigger rivalry. I heard somebody. I keep saying what I was listening to earlier today, but I heard somebody equate it to like having a fight with like a stranger and like hating that person, compared to like the A&M ones, more like a relative that you're fighting with, and it's not like as deep of a hate. I mean, that game always centered around Thanksgiving. You're usually arguing with cousins or uncles and stuff, and it's not. I don't feel like it's nearly as hot tempered compared to like Oklahoma that you just freaking hate.
Yeah, well, I agree, but I think the bragging rights mean a whole lot more to the Texas A&M game than for the Sooners. Like, I mean, yes, there's bragging rights there, but when you're 2 hours away from each other, and this is the first, that's what I'm saying, though. It's been, 14, 15 years since we've actually played each other? Like, it's going to change. Your viewpoint will change on this. I remember what it was like.
I don't know I don't know if I'll change my view on that though. I think the rivalry would be big, but I don't think I'll change my view on how much I hate Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield.
Yes, correct.
I mean, Dylan Gabriel, Jalen Hurts. What's his name? Caleb, whatever, the weird guy in the NFL.
Yeah, super weird.
The guy who paints his nails. Yeah, that one.
I mean, let's just look at ticket prices and tell me which one is more expensive.
Oh my god!
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the first time back. That'd be a bad case study.
I mean, it's a bad case study to ask a question right before the Red River too, which is what happened.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see by the end of the year. All right. Player of the game, or who's your player to watch? Who are you looking for this game?
I have to just say before we go on, I was cracking up just now because it looked like Johnner was just trying to flex as we were talking about beating OU. He pulled his shoulder and started going like this, and I thought he was just trying to like be a statue, and then I realized he's like working his shoulder
Yeah,
out.
that's disc golf. That's disc golf right there.
Disc golf and freaking throwing the football today. I was like, God dang it.
Oh yeah, dude. Mine like right here for disc golf is hurting.
It's just so much better.
Elbow.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you were laughing. I thought maybe somebody froze. At a funny part or something. The player I'm looking forward to watching, Anthony Hill. I thought, like I said on the podcast, I wanted to get in.
Sorry, guest.
Like I said in the last recap, I think Anthony Hill played his best game as a Longhorn last Saturday. I think he's got a lot of confidence going. Dude, watching an interview with him is funny because he's a freaking grown man out there, you know. And then they interview him, and he sounds like an 18-year-old kid, you know. Yeah. His voice does not match him.
Yes.
His temperament does not match how he plays at all, which is just funny to see because he was very soft-spoken in the interview and kind of like, dude, you're a freaking monster on the field. So I'm really excited to see him against that defense. It feels like he always steps up on these big games and the big lights. So, I'm looking forward to Anthony Hill.
Did you see his excuse for the Baker Mayfield jersey?
Why
it was
to him?
He said it was the first jersey a fan gave to him, so he just used that.
Yeah,
shot it with the cannon and then went. So calm down, Baker. No one cares about you. Rent free.
Oh, live rent free. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's why you're still talking about Texas.
Yeah, dude. Riding Tom Brady's coattails.
Exactly.
Who you got, Joe?
Dude, I want to see Taft have an even better game than this last game. Watching him dominate is awesome. He's probably one of my favorite players. Just the whole story of the 16. I love his best friend. I love his whole like reason for being alive and like even playing football is for that dude. And he plays with so much passion and like heart. And watching him, another reason we wanted to get there early so we could watch the guys come out in like the suits and ties and all that stuff. He came out there, came all the way to the Texas side, had his headphones on, and just like you could see he was talking and kind of doing his own thing, getting his mind right. And that was pretty cool to see. But I think watching him, and then in addition would be Gunnar Helm, like him adding more. No hurdles. Let's keep the
come on.
No,
guy's gonna have
to a minimum.
Guy's gonna have a museum of pictures by the end of the season.
Oh my god, I love it. But watching him do that flip freaked me out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want him to get hurt. He's so awesome. But yeah, I think I just want to see Taft have some takeaways, have some really good tackles, and hopefully some sacks and maybe some tackles for loss. But Taft, my dude.
Yeah, we don't need the talented Georgia players taking them out midair.
Yeah,
painful.
Yeah, they're dirty like that.
Yeah.
I already said him before, but my key player. I mean, the defensive line is going to be where most of the game is won. But the person I'm looking forward most to and going to be watching is Manny Mohammed. He's going to be tested. Can he hold up? I think he's major key. So,
boy, you guys just focusing on the defense.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I have an offensive one also written down.
Well, I do need
number one.
One of my player of the game is going to be the security guard on the Georgia sideline to keep Kirby away from our players. That's number one. Push one of the Texas players, see what happens. All right, that ain't gonna fly around here. I promise you that, Kirby. All your excuses. I don't know how he gets away with it.
Yeah,
now
Cam
it's allow
Williams
his
would be there.
players to get away with it. It's crazy, dude. Like, what
That
are
was
we doing?
wild.
But my real player to watch is actually going to be Wisner. But in a follow up, I think Gibson may get a little bit more time here. I'm going to put my call in for that and see what we can get out of Gibson. Maybe not. Probably. I don't know what we're going to do yet because I feel like Wisner earned his keep from last game. We will still see Blue, but I do feel like we may see a little bit of Gibson. And then also Wingo with Bonds, possibly he's questionable. Sark has said that he looks good in practice right now, so he should be able to go. But I think Wingo is going to be a guy that needs to step up this game, and he's going to be a key factor on this. Also, I need Golden to stop making excuses on his football throw. I don't know if you guys saw that interview, but he was talking. He said, "It was the glove, man. It was the glove." He's like, "You should have saw me in practice. We practiced it all week, and it was fine. And then that glove, man." Oh man, just watching that over and over. It was an interview and everything, and they showed the replay, and you see DeAndre Moore come over and laugh at him. Like, it was a very cool experience and funny. And that, by the way, that's in the middle of the Red River, and then we went back to the well and did it again. So.
Did you see he had the gloves off the second throw?
Yep.
I didn't even realize that at the actual game. And then they
That's
showed
great.
the replay and the gloves were off. And I'm like, they should have known. Oh, you should have known when he came out there with the gloves off at that point.
Yeah.
Well, Georgia will have somebody watching the gloves on Golden this week.
Also, an offensive player.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
throw an offensive player for you.
Okay.
I think.
Wait, so you already had Gunnar
I
Hunt?
like.
Yeah, I mean,
oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
Come on,
But-
Joe.
Another one, because watching him, everybody saw it. The 50-yard hustle. Silas
Oh
Bolden.
yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Beast.
Guy's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Some they were saying on the on Texas that he doesn't realize what he did. That he's not going to have to pay for a meal or beer, any kind of bar tab ever again if he's in Austin. Because every Longhorn fan will remember that. That's one of the things that people will remember from that Red River.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shootout. I would say another key to the game, now that we're talking about it, is him not taking risky moves on those returns this week. People,
courageous.
He put it on tape. Everybody's going to be looking for it, and that could be super dangerous this week with people expecting that from him.
No, dude, screw him. All right, live by the sword, die by the sword. Nah, dude. No, absolutely not. No, you let Sark coach that, okay? He'll be fine.
Okay. Talk about our running back rotations over here. What the game plan is.
Look, I'm just saying. Look, all I'm saying is let the man cook until he screws up. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else for this Georgia game? And we'll talk about some other games real quick. Anything else for this next game coming up?
I'm still kind of waiting to see. Well, you're good. I'm just still trying to wait to see the injury report to see what else has kind of come out. I feel like both teams have been pretty quiet on both sides.
The injury report was released like 30 minutes ago. I screenshot it and forgot to say it.
Yeah, sweet. Well, there we go. Is there anything surprising?
Sorry, that's on X there, Jono. You should join that.
Well, I don't.
It's 2024.
I don't actively get on while I'm on a podcast. I'm locked in. Okay.
No, dude. Oh, look, there's Dave Portnoy's new
right here, baby. Right here.
Eagle.
So the only thing, I mean, they have Isaiah Bonsil's questionable, but Sark commented on it, and then Derek Williams is out. But there's nothing unexpected on here for us.
That's good.
What about Georgia?
I don't know their roster well enough to know what's known and what's not, but they have running back, inside linebacker, running back, Tate Ratledge, the offensive line. He's still questionable. And Jared Wilson. So yeah, they've been down 2 offensive linemen.
Yeah, 2 O-line. Their center.
I hate to see that.
It was the center, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the center. That's the one that they were thinking was going to come back. The one I'm guessing this is him, Tate Ratledge, that's listed as questionable.
Nice.
Or I'm not sure, but I know the center is most likely coming back this week.
Damn.
So
I think he's the more experienced guy, I think.
Yeah, he's been around for quite a while.
Let's see. All right. So we'll do our score predictions at the end. Let's kind of quickly go through 11 a.m. action. What games you want to watch at the at 11 a.m. The morning time slot? Big noon Eastern kickoff. Who did I lose? Oh, there you are. Hey, welcome
Oh,
back.
Jonathan. There he is.
Yeah, sorry. Hello. I was watching from the
Hey.
sideline. Just wanted to get a different aspect of the podcast.
Very good.
That was weird. I haven't had any issue, and then all of a sudden it just locked up on me.
Perfect. And maybe
Great.
my end. I don't know. Yeah, it's all my fault.
Yeah. No, I was
Interested to see how that Missouri Auburn game turns out. The spread on that's pretty low.
Yeah.
4.5.
Auburn has battled in a lot of games this year.
I mean, yeah, they're going to finally catch one.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I mean, at some point.
Mhm.
That little coach over there figure out how to throw somebody else under the bus.
Oh, I didn't even see this game. Louisville's about to destroy Miami.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably the game I'm going to tune into in the morning.
Yeah.
Miami's just been like catching lucky streaks, and Louisville might be able to finally do it.
I'm sick of it.
And I feel like that's like probably the last. I think it's the last real. Who else do they have still on their schedule? You have Duke, Georgia Tech might get them. I don't know.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's a big game.
Yeah, it's a big game.
man.
Other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot on this 11 a.m. slot that's
No.
super intriguing. I mean, you have South Carolina, Oklahoma at 11:45. That's kind of interesting on that. But other than that, yeah, I think I would be locked into on that Miami game.
It's kind of weird. Friday, you've got Oregon, Purdue, and you've got
Yeah.
Oklahoma State, BYU on Friday.
Yeah, I was about to say a couple good ones on Friday.
Did stats say Ollie
Yeah.
Gordon has 4 touchdowns? I haven't bet on any of those games.
I think he got all those at like the first 1 or 2 games
Yeah,
of the season. The
probably.
dude's been dry lately.
384 yards on the year on 101 carries.
That's insane, dude. He's just disappeared.
Guy's
Yep.
gone.
Nebraska, Indiana could be interesting. Also, I mean, Indiana.
Yes, that'd be a great game.
quietly up a 6-0 season right now, and they're at home. That should be fun. Nebraska's
That's-
gonna
Yeah,
draw in
that
some
could be a tough
crowd.
game.
That's where Barcel's going this week.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, come on. You got Will Compton just begging for a big game for them to come up to. But it is in Indiana. So, all right. So afternoon games, you've got shouldn't be ranked Michigan versus number 22 Illinois. I hope Illinois. Michigan's a -3.5 on there. I hope Illinois just dominates this game and finally
That's gonna be
sends them
crazy.
out of the top 25.
I would like Michigan to do better just to make people shut up about how easy Michigan is. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, and then you've got Texas A&M, Mississippi State. Texas A&M is -16 against Mississippi State. That is less than half of the spread that Texas got, just for the record.
Yeah, I mean, one of the obvious games, Alabama, Tennessee. I mean, you're looking at 2 teams that are kind of having a tough stretch here. These last 2 or 3 weeks have really looked rough. Really, especially since that second half of that Georgia game for Bama, and then Tennessee. I have no idea what's going on with their offense. Just it's been non-existent. So this game being in Knoxville, I don't know, man. A lot of question marks on both these teams. So I'm interested to see who comes out on top here, because this has a lot of playoff implications with this matchup going forward for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama, if they lose this game, then they've got Missouri, LSU, and then Auburn at the end. Tennessee, if they were to lose this game, they've got Kentucky, Mississippi State, and then Georgia, and then Vandy at the end. So I think Tennessee, this is a must-win for them.
Yeah.
You go down here, you're going to go down to Georgia more than likely, and then it's all downhill from there. You're not more. You could be looking out of the 12-team playoff at that point. But Alabama kind of in the same spot. Like, there's only so many teams that are going to make this, and I feel like there's a lot of SEC teams that feel like, oh, we could deserve 2 or 3 losses and get in still. Well, I mean, it's not necessarily the case. Like,
Yeah.
I truly believe like SEC just gets a lot of love, and these teams aren't as good as what they're projected over BYU and some of these other teams that deserve to be up there too.
If Tennessee wins this, do you think they take the goalpost to the river again?
Oh yeah,
that's wild, but possible.
Yeah, I think they probably do.
Dude, and then they up the fine even more.
Yeah.
Yikes! Did they take the goalpost for Oklahoma?
No, I don't think so.
No, it was just that.
It
was just that Bama game.
Wait, what? What are we talking about here? If Tennessee wins?
Yeah, they did it last year, and then
last year. Okay, got it. Okay,
there we go.
I was like, well, what did they take? Oh, here you are. What did they take this year? I don't think they did it against Oklahoma.
No.
But there's so many goalposts getting torn down this year.
Well, exactly. It's becoming a thing. I'm just curious if y'all thought they
Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Tennessee. Like, you start tearing down a goalpost because you beat Alabama. Nah, get out of here, dude. Yeah. You rush the field, we get our name back.
I think it'll be interesting to watch the A&M Mississippi State game too. I mean, A&M's really like beating their chest that they're better all of a sudden after their win against Missouri.
Yeah,
Mississippi State could easily step up in that game.
I agree.
So that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, Mississippi State is like put up a fight. I actually played golf with a guy that's going to that game this weekend, and he's like, yeah, we're getting close to putting stuff together. I was like, well, I mean, yeah, you guys played Georgia better than you played us, but
yeah,
tickets as low as $5 for that game. That's not a joke. Holy smokes,
that's insane.
I could sit. Oh, dude, what is this? 50-yard line. You can on the first level. You can get from 14 rows from the field, $28.
There's no reason why that stadium shouldn't be.
What, dude?
It's insane. Because nobody wants to buy a ticket and listen to those freaking bells all day long. That's
true. Valid.
I will never go to a game then.
More cowbell.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Also, the fact that ESPN switched their ticket pricing to Vivid Seats from SeatGeek and stuff is trash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want Vivid Seats. What is this? SeatGeek's where it's at. SeatGeek, sponsor us, please. I'd like a ticket to the game this weekend.
I signed up for so many like sweepstakes this week. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, dude.
Anything I saw on Instagram, it was like giving away 2 free tickets to the Georgia game. I'm like, screw it. I'm going for it.
Let's go.
I had somebody call me and asked if I knew anybody who wanted to buy 2 tickets to the Georgia game, but they wanted like $1,600 for each one.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got a text about that, or one of those. Yeah,
okay.
50-yard line tickets.
What a scam!
Yeah.
I mean, it actually is a good deal for those tickets, but
no, it's not. No, that is how much?
$1,500
a piece.
15.
Is not a good deal for
I mean,
any football
in
game,
the market
dude.
Currently, those tickets are going for over $2,000.
Okay, yes, in the current market.
Yeah.
But everyone's a jackass for paying these prices. Like this.
I mean, row 5, lower level, Texas sideline, $16.45.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. Week 6 matchup, and we're looking at $500 to get in the door. That is just unreal to me, man. Absolutely unreal.
I've got oceanfront property in Arizona too, boys. If anyone wants to buy it, $1,600 for 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours only, and it'll include a gas chamber of orange smoke. Okay. Oh, my boys, my ponies, going to Stanford. 7:00. Just riding high on the Smee.
They're gonna roll.
Dude, looking at this night slate here, all eyes are going to be on us, man.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy. There's no game over here that even comes close to pulling the viewers. You may have some that tune in over into the LSU Arkansas game because
LSU.
that may be a little interesting. But other than that, man, the night, the whole prime time is going to be ours.
Oh yeah. It's let's see. There's only one thing that could compete, and nope. No, well, there may be. It would be game. Let's see. That's game 3, game 4, game 5. If the Dodgers Mets go to another game, then possibly. But it looks like they're skipping Saturday anyway, so no competition whatsoever. The Yankees are just going to sweep that series.
Yeah,
I don't know if you boys have been watching that.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't quite have the same pull for me this year, but the Guardians it's just weird, man. I don't know. I can't get excited about that.
Don't tell Tim, but I'm all in on the Mets, and I want them to play the Yankees and finally defeat the Death Star. I can't.
It'd be cool.
Awesome.
To see. It'd be cool to see the Subway Series in the World
Oh,
Series.
absolutely, man.
Subway Series.
Super off topic, but yeah, nobody's going to compete with Texas for that slot. I mean,
I know. You just roundabout way of doing that.
full circle back, but no, that's going to be fun then because all eyes are on us. So that's our chance to make the statement.
I was offered free tickets for Austin FC game at the same time slot as the Georgia game. I said, nope.
No, thank you.
All right, let's get out of here. Let's do some picks. 5 picks, Joe. We're going to start with you as the guest picker. I want you to pick 5 games. Do you have them or not? Okay. I can come back to you if you need it.
I've got them.
Okay, perfect. Let me get my spreadsheet wherever that went. Oh, did I move my? There it is. Got it. All right. What do you got, Joe?
I got Navy over Charlotte. Spread is -17 for Navy.
Okay.
And Texas State over ODU. Picking a local game. -10 for Texas State.
Okay.
And
what's their record? Do you know that yet?
Texas State or ODU?
Texas State. I shouldn't have done that to you. Okay, so they did have 2 losses. Okay.
4-2.
They were hot there for a little bit, boy.
They were.
All right, what's your next one?
We got USC and Rice. At Rice. Spread is -7. I got USC over that.
Hold on. USC? Is it Sam Houston or is it?
No, it's. Oh wait, I did pick the wrong one.
Yeah,
I was looking at
what?
I was like, wait,
nope,
USC's going to
Maryland.
Rice?
Yeah, dude. Maryland.
USC, okay. Maryland. Sorry.
Okay, there it is.
Right.
So USC, what's the spread on that?
-7.
Okay, yeah. USC getting -7 against Rice would be bonkers.
Rice, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, dang, man, the USC really fell off.
Yeah. We'll see if they cover that because I feel like that's a tough travel trip going all the way to Maryland for that game.
That's been the big topic is the travel. Like, that's been huge.
Yeah. Sure.
I threw Texas A&M on there against Mississippi State to cover. And
what are they, 17? 16?
-16, yeah.
Okay.
And then Iowa State and UCF at Iowa State. I got Iowa State covering that.
That's at 14.
Yeah, to stay undefeated. Go 7-0.
Okay. Like it. There's a lot of these that I actually like. All of mine are the favorites. Like every single one of mine. I started 0-3 last week, so I will go first this week.
Yeah, enjoy the stage, TJ.
Yeah, well, what's it like, dude? I'm about to find out what it's like to live in Jono's world. All right, so I also have Iowa State -14. I've got the SMU Ponies at minus 16.5. I've got Texas Tech minus 6.5. I've got UNL. I'm sorry, what?
Who does Texas Tech play?
God dang it! I just had it. Hold on.
I can look it up. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Baylor.
Tech plays
Yeah,
Baylor.
Baylor. That's what it was.
Okay.
Baylor in Lubbock.
Yeah. And then I've got UNLV. They are minus 7.5. Let me before you ask, I'll figure out where they're playing. Hold on. God dang it! I should have put that. I always put that, and for whatever reason, I was rushing this time.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it. God dang it! Now I can't remember what conference they're in. Our pets' heads are falling off. There it is.
See what happens when you go first, dude?
Oregon State, dude. Yeah, dude. Hey, it won't be happening again.
Chaos.
John is scrambling right now to add in his right now.
Yeah, UNLV at Oregon State.
Okay.
And then I have Tulane. Tulane is minus 22 against.
That's right.
You don't have to do it, man.
No, I'm doing
just
it. I'm
curious.
doing
Right.
it now. No, it's too late, dude. We'll do it live.
That's funny.
Sunbelt. Okay. What is Tulane?
Oh, they're playing right.
American.
They're in
Rice. There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
American. That's what it was. Yes.
Okay,
They're playing
yeah.
the Rice. That's the Rice game. That's why I went. Yes, they're minus 22 against Rice
Minus 20.
at Tulane. Yeah, dude.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Rice is terrible.
All right, Jono.
2-4.
What do you got?
All right. I got BYU to cover 9.5 against Oklahoma State tomorrow night. Yeah, that's that tomorrow night, late
Friday.
Big 12 game, 9:15 game. I got Clemson to cover 21.5 at home versus Virginia. I think Clemson's been the hottest team lately, other than Texas. I think they've literally looked well lately. I think they continue the trend. I got, let's see here. I got Mississippi State to cover against A&M. I think A&M comes in cocky, heads held high. They think they're going to get it done.
Ooh.
I'm going to go against Joe here and think that
Wow.
Mississippi State has a couple of things figured out after playing a couple of the big teams. They've seen some of the best talent in the SEC already. I think they'll be ready for A&M. I got Texas Tech as well to cover that 6.5 in Lubbock versus Baylor. And then my last one is I got Illinois to upset Michigan in Champaign, Illinois.
Hell yeah. Pouring
I like
champagne.
Oh yeah.
Dude, a minus 16 at home for Mississippi State is wild, considering they were within 10 of Georgia last week.
Yeah,
At Georgia?
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's a great line right there.
We'll see.
Yeah. Plus, what is it? Plus 16 for
plus
Mississippi
16.
State? Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, the rookie put in minus 16 for Mississippi
Yeah.
State.
Yeah, my bad. I usually take all the favorites.
Yeah.
Mine, I'm not going to have a lot to say behind them because most of these I'm just a gut feeling on them. But Wisconsin -7 over Northwestern. I'm pretty much going to pick anybody over Northwestern anytime. Coastal Carolina +4.5 over Louisiana. I've just liked betting on Coastal Carolina the last couple of years. I know they're not really as good as they have been. What's up?
Wisconsin, are they at Northwestern?
They
Yes,
are.
They are at Northwestern. Yeah.
Did
Okay, good.
you
So
do
number
that on
one.
purpose?
No, I didn't.
You're trying to get me?
Do you know what the weather is over there?
It's always windy.
Well, I'm just saying they're like right on the water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to take that into account.
It's true. True.
I'm just saying.
What phase is the moon in?
Well, okay, no, seriously.
No, yeah, Northwestern, the weather is a big
It's
deal.
basically on a tugboat. For the football field, it's just on a moving tugboat at this point. It's right on the water.
I mean, Wisconsin mostly runs the ball, so I think it's going to be all right. I'm sticking with my pick.
Okay, all right.
Coastal Carolina +4.5 over Louisiana.
Okay.
Over, but yeah. Colorado +3 versus Arizona. Really like that pick. I think that's an easy one. And
It's back on the bandwagon.
wait, are you calling me a Colorado bandwagon?
Well, you are now. Yeah.
All right.
I'm just saying.
I am shocked you have not brought up Arkansas hardly at all on this podcast.
Look at it's because you guys are jealous of them, and
Crazy.
I'm trying to focus on Georgia right now.
Then I got Kentucky -1.5 versus Florida, which I think is a crazy line to still be available. And Arizona State +5 versus Cincy.
Really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Arizona
State.
L. I'm calling an L right now on that one.
All right, 3-0.
Okay.
Look at 0-3.
Look at 10-1. You're 11-10. Okay. I'm just saying. Like I have the same amount of losses as you. So actually, yeah. So sorry. John,
way to keep score right there. Let's count the dubs.
Okay. I'm just saying. Same amount of losses.
We have the same amount of losses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's correct. Am I wrong in that?
That's like caveats like OU fans counting wins. Like after this time period.
Look at how much count do you have to pick the game that actually hits the exact spread? That's talent.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
All right. Last thing, let's get to score predictions. Joe, we're going to start with you. What is your prediction for the Georgia-Texas game?
Ooh.
I can't wait. I
I already told Jonathan this one. 34-10 Texas, obviously.
34-10. Interesting.
Okay.
This is going to be real interesting here. Okay. Seth or Jono, I don't care who goes first.
I'll go next.
Go. All right.
I feel like I was too conservative last week. I'm going to go 41-24 Texas.
Okay.
Georgia has enough of an offense to put up some points, but we're going to do way better.
Okay.
I will go Texas 34, Georgia 20. I think this is a close game into the third quarter, and I think Texas pulls away late third quarter and makes it look good 34-20.
34-20 is a lot different. 38-10 sitting on here.
What made you change your mind there, John?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't put anything. What was on there?
38-10.
Oh, that was last week.
Okay. It's the leftover from last week.
My bad. I didn't update the spreadsheet.
Well, boys, so the game is going to be the biggest test that Texas has had, as everyone says, because we haven't played anybody yet. We've had 3 touchdowns total scored against us. This will be a big test for Texas, and I think Texas does what they do like they have all year, and they step up again big. It's going to be 45-14. Texas routs Georgia. Defense continues to play. That 14 could easily be 10. They may score 1 touchdown and a field goal, or it will be 2 touchdowns. That is my call. I really have a hard time being this confident in a Texas football team.
It seems tough for you.
But I'm telling you, normally it is.
Weird.
But the way this team has its culture set, the way that we went into this Red River game and played a terrible game on offense and still found a way to drive the football, get in the end zone against what used to be decent defense. Like, you're making all these teams look stupid right now. I get we haven't played anybody, but we're setting SEC records in our first year. So we're going to continue to do that. We are going to rout Georgia, and no one is going to be able to try and say, oh, Oregon deserves to be number 1. Screw you. Take your Big Ten and shove it. Okay? So that's my take.
Clip it.
Yeah. Send it. Bookmark it on Twitter, you clowns. Well, you guys aren't even there.
What's
all right.
Twitter?
What's
like
up?
it.
You said what's Twitter?
What is that?
Oh my! You two clowns. Golly, man. Look, normally I'm not like in the Twitter universe, X, whatever they want to call it. I'm still calling it Twitter. I don't care. It's an acquired taste. I'll tell you that. Like when it goes south very quickly. So I'm not going to be on it very much when the loss actually happens. That's going to be devastating. But for now, it's a nice ride. So,
That's hilarious.
But yeah, you boys got anything else before we go?
We're going to be live day of the game. What are we planning on?
Live, 3:00.
3:00.
MOK, Colorado. We will be live. We will have another special guest on. I'm super excited for this game. Anyone wants to sponsor 2 tickets to the game? Jono and I still need a ticket because that's a sellout. So, but no, I'm super excited for even the tailgate and to get down there and enjoy. I'm not going to game day, boys. It's not happening. That's a long day.
Too much, man. It's
that
too
is
much.
a long day. So all of you that are going down there to do that, bring a cot and take a nap because there's gonna be a long time in between there. So
no joke.
Can't start your camp out on Friday.
Yeah, that's and the weather's gonna be fantastic. Oh, I can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
Tomorrow, I almost had to wrap my water pipes. You know, it's gonna be 48 degrees outside in the morning.
Oh my god!
I don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's bad. I was cold today, boys.
You guys got it made down there.
Yeah.
Check the roads before you drive in tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Make sure they're good.
Put the chains on your tires.
Yeah, that's right. School's closed, boys. School's closed.
Oh god.
All right. Well, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. Would love to have you again. For everyone else, we will see you Saturday. Hook 'em horns, boys.
Welcome, baby.